Hey everybody, welcome to the Video Game Show. I'm Sean. Probably the biggest piece of news this past week is that Bungie has announced that the R&D, the promotion, and everything going into their new game, Destiny, is going to be upwards of $500 million. Now this would make this the highest cost-wise game of all time, but again, this is their entire budget, entire cost of R&D and promotion and everything in between. Now, if this game is actually on the 10-year cycle that they want it to be on, that's not that bad, especially if it sells a good amount each time they, whether they release a new disc or release a new title, whether it's disc or download, or if they are just doing constant updates and all these DLCs for it over the next 10 years. I mean, personally, I would hope that it would be more than just DLCs for 10 years, but if that is the case, and this is including that, and they do release more than one game, I think that's a really good, estimate of what it can be, what the cost is for 10 years worth of games. To recoup that money, if they were to just go on sales, no DLC or anything like that, they were just to go on sales, they would need over 8 million copies sold. Now, considering that this is a new title, a new IP, that's going to be very hard to do, but I do think it is possible because it is Bungie, and they have a very big following from all their, all their time spent with Halo. This game is very much anticipated, especially from myself, and I am going to be buying it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk another 8.3 million people into buying it, but over 10 years, like I said, it seems like a lot right now, but when it's spread out, everything will be okay. Alright, so some bad news for you guys, you're fans of the Elder Scrolls Online. It's been announced by a leak on accident on the Q&A page that they are going to have to be delaying it another at least 6 months, because they are going to need at least 6 months to get it to the point where they feel that it gives everything that they've been aiming to give it. Whether that be graphics, whether that be play style, control, maybe there's some bugs in the game that they need to fix. But this was a leak by accident. It was accidentally posted. People were able to screenshot this, and then they retracted it right away. But it was a very specific message when it was out. It was referring to ZeniMax. It was very specific. So I think that this was an actual, real, not a rumor or anything like that. I think it was legit, and for people that were really looking forward to this console, this still sucks a little bit. It was due to come out in June, and I was excited for it. I was like this close to maybe getting it, maybe. But now it's not going to come out till December, and knowing what the year's going to look like probably later on in November, December, I don't know if I'm going to play this game now. Maybe down the line in a year from now, maybe I'll pick this one up. But I know in December I'm going to be playing Smash Brothers. In November I'm probably going to be playing Call of Duty. And so in October I'm sure there's going to be something else. I think October is Batman Arkham Knight. So I mean I got 3 games right there in 3 months that I'm already playing. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to put in 300 hours right there, especially in that time of the year. So it's been announced what the light bar is actually for on the back of the PS4 DualShock 4 controller. This light bar apparently is for tracking for Project Morpheus. So there's been a lot of complaints about the light bar. What is it for? What are we using it for? Why do we even have it? All it does is reflect off my TV, and it puts a glare so I can't see what's happening, and then I get killed in resogun. So now they finally announced this. I guess I guess some of us can back away from it now. Also, because in the last update, you're given the option to actually turn it down a little bit. You're able to dim the lights now. It's pretty cool though. I like what they're doing with the Project Morpheus. They're incorporating the controller, and it seems like they've had this plan for quite a while, and they know what they're doing. So I do trust Sony. I do trust what they're doing with this, and at least I'm glad that we now know about this. They weren't able to tell us before when people were up in an uproar about this back when the system launched, but now they're able to tell us this, and I'm glad they did. It really puts a lot of thoughts at ease, I think. At an investors meeting this week, Nintendo showed off their first NFC figurine. It is a Mario. NFC stands for Near Field Communication. This Mario figurine is going to be able to be used across both platforms, the Wii U and the 3DS. It's also going to be able to be used across multiple games. They want to be able to really hone in on this technology and surpass where Skylanders is at. I think they could do that because their brand is so much stronger than what Skylanders is. Skylanders is... it's a very popular game, but mainly when I would see people buy this game, it's a lot of little kids, and I think that Mario has a way huge bigger recognition factor than the Spyro, Skylanders, any of them do. I think that if Nintendo does this the right way, they're going to be able to, make some big money back on every downfall they've had over the last couple years. Not much information was released about this. I do think it's cool, but they will be giving us more information at E3. Again, they're not doing an actual live event at E3 this year. They're doing like what they did last year with like a Nintendo Direct. They're doing it online, and that's what they're going to be talking about during this. It's going to be called the NFP, NFC platform, or Nintendo Figurine platform. So expect to hear more news about this at E3 from Nintendo. I'm really excited about this. I want to see what they have up their sleeves regarding this technology. For you fans out there of old school Nintendo Advance games, it's not actually that old school, but Nintendo Advance games, you got Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, two of the really, off-kilter but really good Pokemon games. They're actually going to be re-released for 3DS this year in the fall. They're going to be released this year as Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This is good news. I actually was playing was it Ruby? I think it was. I was playing Ruby, and I had it in the Game Boy Advance, and my brother took the Game Boy Advance and went and traded the console in and bought something else with it, and so I never finished my game. I was a little sad about that because those games, those Pokemon games, man, you put a lot of hours into those things trying to catch them all. I'm excited about this one. I want to see how it looks. I have Pokemon X. I haven't yet been able to play it, but if it's going to look how that one is, I definitely am excited about it. If they change a little bit of the graphics up, maybe add some of the newer aspects to how the Pokemon world is working, and I think they have a hit on their hands again. I think they're going to do real well, and I'm looking forward to this release. Also released this week was a first look at Sunset Overdrive. Up to this point, all we've seen is a CGI trailer at E3 last year. This time, they gave us a little bit of CGI, but they gave us a lot of gameplay. And in this first look, they have an omnipotous voice doing the narration. It's really cool. I definitely like seeing this because it is one of those games that isn't exclusive, and it's definitely something that Xbox One sorely needs to catch up with PS4. When I'm looking at this first look of Sunset Overdrive, I definitely like what they have going on, but I definitely see some resemblances to a lot of other games. I've heard people say Jet Set Radio, and based on what I've seen of Jet Set Radio, I do see that in the movement. Also, what I see from this game is a very, very similar approach to it, like in Dead Rising 3, which I was not the biggest fan of, but I did enjoy it to a certain extent. Some of the gameplay mechanics did not work for me in that game. Hopefully some of the gameplay mechanics in this game are a lot better than that. Insomniac Games, it's a very good company. Used to make the Sly Cooper games, used to make the Ratchet and Clank games. They made Fuse a couple years back. So I mean, this is a really good company, really good developer, and I'm really excited about this. Can't wait till this fall to see what they have in store for us. A new IP. I'm just really excited about this one. And last bit of news, Watch Dogs dropped another trailer. This one is the character trailer. Go check it out. It gives you some information on who's in the game, who are the main characters you're going to be dealing with, and it just shows more of Watch Dogs, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a pretty awesome game. I haven't even played it yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in contention for Game of the Year. Alright guys, that's it for Video Game Show this week. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, inquiries in the comment section down below. Let's have a great conversation. We'll see you next time.